Okay, I'm going to present a project I've made using .NET Core for the API and Angular 9 for the front end. So this app basically allows users to answer some questions that you can set up in the back office, and according to the answers we will recommend a mobile phone for them, the most suitable for them. So you got the front page, that's what everybody that goes into the app will see, so it's pretty simple. And this project is not finished, so some things here may not be looking as great as they should. So you can then take the quiz, and you will be presented with some default questions like where do you live, and these are the default countries that you can choose because this app was going to be for these particular countries. So you can select United Kingdom, for example. Next question, that is another default question, so what's your price range here? So I will say less than 500. So this is a custom question that you can set up on the back office, and I will show you that after. So let's say Apple. Do you need a camera? Yes. So which operating system do you prefer? Let's say iOS. Next question. Which screen size do you prefer? 6. So I submit, and then you must enter your email address so to get the results. That's for marketing purposes, I guess. So in this case we don't have any phone that matches the needs of the customer, so we don't have a lot of phones set up on the back office, so that's probably the reason that we don't have one. Let me just try again with different answers. So I guess we should get something. Yeah, okay. So when we get a recommended phone that matches all the criteria, and probably this one doesn't match, but it was created just for testing purposes, and yeah, okay, you get the phone, an image of the phone that you can set up on the back office, also the price also set up by us, buy now button. This will redirect to a link that you can set up, the blog review, the same thing. And then as a future feature, the client wanted to have an upgrade option, so a more expensive option with better characteristics, and a budget option, so something a little less costly. And then we will have the video review that will embed here a YouTube video, so this is not ready also. So okay, for the front end that's it. So let's just now check the back office. So if you go to admin, admin login, you will be presented with the login page. For the authentication we use JWT, so it works fine with Angular and .NET Core API. And then it's a pretty simple back office. So you get the manufacturers that you created. So for now we have 4 of them. And if you don't have any selected, we will present all the available phones. And like I said, we don't have much, that's why we didn't get a match before. And let's say that you want to filter by one of the manufacturers, you can do that. You can also edit a phone, and you can create a new phone. So I will create just once, just to show how it works. So I'm not really into the phones, so I don't know everything about them, so I will just input some random data. Let's use this image, no problem. I will set up the URLs that I've told you about on the front office, so the purchase one, the YouTube review, and the blog review. And the most interesting part here is the attributes. So if you go there, we will have all the attributes that you can select for this and any phone. So if they have a camera, the operating system, and the screen size. So let's say that you want to set up the operating system, you go add attribute and you select the one that's relevant. So same thing for screen size, and you can also do the camera, no problem. Let's say yes, okay, create, and now you have a new phone. So since I've said this is not completely ready, so for example here we have a bug where the image is not shown on the first load, so and even the counters are not updated as they should. So if I refresh the page, for example, everything is ready now. So you have the image and you have the counters working great. So you can also create new manufacturers here, and here is the most complex part of this. So you have the questions and the attributes that you've seen when I tried to create a new phone. So let's say that you need a new attribute, let's say RAM, for example. So you can create a name, that's the name that will be shown on the specs of the phone, like explained here, and you can create multiple options. So for example 2 gigas for, let's say, 16. Okay, you can select what is the question that will be presented on the front office, like how many gigas of RAM do you need. So you can write an alt text, that's a smaller text that will appear below the question. So let's say just RAM, no problem. We can allow for multiple choices, yes or no. Let's say no, because no. And if it's mandatory or not. So the mandatory here is that if it's mandatory, then the phone to be recommended has to have this attribute matching the choice of the customer. If it's not mandatory, we may select this phone if it's the one that matches the most attributes, but we don't need to match this one in particular. So let's say no problem here. Okay, we just created, and yeah, okay, we don't update correctly the position of the question, and I think there is a bug here, because sometimes the question is not presented in the right place, but you get the point. So now if I go to phones and create a new phone, when I go to attribute, I will have a new attribute here, so RAM, add, and we have all the options that we can select for this new attribute. So we also have here stores, and this is a new feature that wasn't developed entirely. So the idea here was to create some physical shops that could have some phones available. So it's pretty simple. So you just create the stores, we select the country. I guess that's the relevance of the first question on the quiz, and then which phones are available for this store. And then we can also create more countries to be presented on the back office. And this is the currency of the country. That was also a feature that was expected to be delivered, so we could have multiple currencies, but we did not get to this point. And finally we have the results page. So this page was just for the administrator to be able to see through what the customers have been answering, and it was a really simple page that we wanted to get better with better presentation especially, but we did not get to that point yet. So it's really simple, just so we know that the answers are getting there. So this is my last one, the one I showed on the demo. So if I go to details, I can see the email, the country selected, and the attributes that the user selected. And you also have the price range here. It should be here also, but we have it here. So just to show what happens when you create a new attribute, I'm going to take the quiz again very quickly. So okay, You need a camera, yes. How many gigabytes of RAM do you need? So we have here the question. So just one thing. No, okay, yeah. This is the help text that I've talked about, and yeah, it should be presented here, and it's clearly not presenting. So we have a bug here, but the idea was that. And okay, that's it. That's pretty much what this help does.